Alright, we're here again. The main man recently made a video regarding Kazuya being stronger than Devil Jin in the game's current state. He brought up several good points that I figured could use addressing. I disagree with the main man here, but anything said in this video is meant to be purely discussion based. I mean no disrespect, not trying to start a turf war, none of that shit, okay? The main man is a great dude, but his words are evidently taken into Bandai Namco's consideration when they go to balance this game, so... That being made aware, I feel a response at this time was important to initiate due to the fact that we're getting another balance patch in May that will supposedly be a massive one. The last thing I or any Kazuya main wants is for our beloved character to become so nerfed that he's completely useless. I wholeheartedly still believe that Kazuya fits quite nicely in the bottom 10 characters in the roster, especially in light of Eddie's recent release, Eddie being quite strong just from face value alone, really puts in perspective how weak some of the other characters in this game are, Kazuya being one of them. So let's just address a few things here. I don't think Kazuya being even remotely as strong as Devil Jin is even in the cards right now, but if the main man has some points, I'm very interested in what he has to say. So I'm willing to be swayed in this. My opinion can change at any point as soon as I see reasonable evidence come to light. Tournament play has a lot to do with where we place characters in the roster, and so far Kazuya has had almost zero tournament representation for the entire time that Tekken 8's been out, over 2 months now. So Devil Jin has had some representation in tournaments, and he's done fairly okay. He hasn't really done anything of note. So I don't really necessarily believe that Devil Jin is as broken or overpowered as he once was pre-nerfs. He's been nerfed twice now in terms of damage, his Hell Sweep and his Heaven's Gate, so he's definitely not as strong as we first thought that he was at the very beginning of the game's release, but even still, he has some of the best heat mechanics in the game, and I think considering how important heat is from round to round in Tekken 8, that's a significant detail when factoring in what makes a character powerful in this game. Heat is a decisive factor in virtually 50+% of every single round in every single match. That being said, let's have some fun with this topic and bounce some ideas off one another. Hashtag save Kazuya, hashtag leave Kazuya as he is, hashtag Kazuya needs no nerfs, hashtags don't work. When you say them out loud, you bit. I hope we can initiate a friendly dialogue with this discussion. Now let's get into the video. Again, nothing but respect here. Main man's a great fucking guy. Just trying to have a healthy discussion and trying to keep Kazuya healthy too. So, let's see what he has to say.
It's actually a long list of things Kazuya does better than Devil Jin. We can set aside the Hell Sweep, we can set aside Devil Fist, but this costs no heat and is always there. Devil Jin has nothing like this, and it's not even close. Another factor is post-heat engager like this. Kazuya puts you in a situation Devil Jin can't. You have to take this mix-up. Devil Jins you don't really have to take because it's so slow the startup of CD 1+2. So again, heat engager, Kazuya wins. And again, this costs no heat. If Devil Jin wants to do CD 1+2 into laser, that costs a significant amount of heat. Kazuya never has to use that.
So, I want to just address the 4-4-3 thing that he was just talking about with Kazuya. So yes, Kazuya does have a mid launcher that you can mix up the opponent with after a heat engager connects. Fantastic thing to have, either mid launcher or chunky low. I get it. Devil Jin has the Hell Sweep, which is a launcher and scary as fuck, obviously. But Kazuya does have the 4-4-3. I get it. It's that, a launcher, to be able to have a launcher like that in after a heat engager is huge. But guess what? Devil Jin also has this fucking move right here. This move 4-4-4, which I think a lot of people are sleeping on because it's -6 on block. It's fairly linear. You get Devil Jin's back if you step it, and it only requires a small step. It actually tracks a little more than you think, though. Like if I do a mini step and then try to engage, I will get clipped. Mini step into engagement. So, and then if I press anything, it's a counter hit launcher. It's pretty freaking impressive to me that Devil Jin has a mid like this. He hasn't really ever had a mid like this. And so the fact that he does, including his heat and all of his other bullshit that he has. Let's just put Devil Jin in heat real quick, right? After he goes into heat, he's got so much crazy shit that he can threaten you with. Because this becomes a fucking launcher. Keep this shit in mind. You know, like, after you get Demon Paw, after Demon Paw connects, this shit becomes a 15-frame launcher. Or not a 15-frame launcher, but you know what I'm talking about. A fast-ass, 16-frame-ish launcher. So, the fact that he still has a launcher after he goes into heat mode, I mean, you can't really even argue that, Kazuya's 443 is anything special. It doesn't require heat, you're right. But Devil Jin still has this, which gives a knockdown, and it also wall splats into big damage, into whatever, so this move is still, it's not as good as 443, don't get me wrong, but if they try to do anything, this move will clip them, and they'll be fucked. Plus 16, that's essentially what you are when you connect to the heat engager. You're plus 17 when you connect to the heat engager, and that's guaranteeing you a mix-up. So this is like having another heat engager when it connects on hit. You're just gonna you guarantee another mix-up. It doesn't matter what it is. I could just hell sweep from here, It's ridiculous. So, I don't know. I think 444 is a really good move that is being slept on. Not too many people use it. And obviously, you can just fucking do this shit. Devil Jin has options after a heat engager that are almost as good as Kazuya's options. So, arguing that Kazuya's 443 puts him a step above Devil Jin, to me, just kind of makes... It's a little bit silly, because, yes, Devil Jin doesn't have a normal hit mid-launcher, but he does have this shit, and he's got... I don't know, Devil Jin's got some pretty fucking good stuff, man. He's got Laser Scraper, he's got forward 4, he's got down back 2 to go into... he does have CD3, which you can mix up with other shit with CD3 with the... He's also got a launching Hell Sweep, something Kazuya does not have access to. I don't think that is to be understated. I mean, if you want, you can just get this for plus frames, you're in plus 1 here, and then keep up the pressure. His down forward 1 isn't terrible either. We can get into that a little bit later, but Devil Jin has options after connecting the heat engager. And the fact that he has a Psycho Crusher that you can hit at fucking range 3.5 plus is insane. So, we'll get into the heat a little bit later, but 443, really fucking good move for Kazuya. Definitely has a better mix-up scenario after a heat engager, but Devil Jin isn't too far off, right? So, there's my argument for that. Kazuya definitely has better options in that sense, but Devil Jin's options aren't something to poo-poo, and you do need to take them into consideration. 444, I think, is a great mid that nobody fucking uses. It's only -6 on block. It has fantastic range. It's safe because it's -6 on block. It low crushes if the person's on the ground, or if the opponent is on the ground and you try to do that move and they try to do anything, that it can clip them while they're rolling around on the ground, and it can counter hit the get-up kicks. It does so much. It has so much utility, and nobody fucking uses it. And guess what? It's 21 frames, just like 443 is with Kazuya. So, and it's slightly better tracks. It's slightly better tracks to, I think, Devil Jin's left. So, I mean, what the fuck? Why is nobody using 444 with Devil Jin? I gotta ask that. I mean, to me, that's a great mid. And I'm singing its praises right now. I mean, it's a safe counter hit mid launcher with fantastic range that low crushes and connects on grounded opponents. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It has slight tracking to Devil Jin's left. I don't know. That's pretty fucking good to me. So, to me, it's not as good as 443's Kazuya, but it's fucking close. It's getting up there, man. So he does have options, and the fact that Demon Paw is a friggin' a heat engager. The fact that that's the case means that Demon Paw is also a launcher in heat. So he still has access to a launcher from a heat engager connection anyways. But we'll continue with the video and see what he has to say now.
When Kazuya is in heat, I just think he's stronger than Devil Jin. Devil Jin has Psycho Crusher. Everything else, Kazuya blows him out of the water. Kazuya has double damage Devil Fist. This is a huge neutral control, and the Devil Fist now has more tracking to Kazuya's weak side. And he can dash out of it. He can dash out of it for a full launch. While this is not a Psycho Crusher, it's one hell of a neutral tool. And it costs very little heat energy to do this laser, the double damage laser. Very good. But especially what makes him so strong is, Devil in my opinion, is this. And this is something a lot of Kazuya players don't understand really. They don't use it. But you do this. Blam, 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 and now they wake up. And now they're in a really bad position. Because now you can either do this, forward 4 on block, which is +4. So this becomes uninterruptible into a lot of chip damage. Into +18. And now the next forward 4 is uninterruptible. Enormously oppressive sequence on block that does good damage and gives great frames, right?
So I agree that Kazuya's down back 1-2 is a really awesome fucking move in heat. It's a mid-mid, you know, it causes a crazy amount of chip damage. It's +18 against the wall if you connect with it, even on block, and it guarantees another mix-up. I mean, down back 1-2 is... I'd say it's pretty busted with Kazuya, to be honest. There's no reason to do his heat smash because down back 1-2 is so fucking good. And it guarantees a follow-up forward 4 or a stomp afterwards for big damage. So, and then more Oki after that, especially if you do forward 4. But down back 1-2 is really solid. But what does Devil Jin have to compete with that for Kazuya? Well, Kazuya's heat smash is shit. We've established that. We established that this is some broken, overpowered bullshit because it hits from range, what? Range 3.5, right? This is range 3.66 right there. You just saw it hit from range 3.66. Let's see if it hits from range 4. It hits from range just beyond range 4. So this is a fucking range 4.2 hitting move. Probably 4.2. 4.15. 4.15. Motherfucker. This heat smash is ridiculous. And on top of that, we established how much this thing tracks already, right? So, heat smash alone. I mean, the fact that look at how much damage this shit does. This move alone is enough reason to say that Devil Jin in Heat is one of the most ridiculous characters in the game. Okay? You don't need to argue beyond this. Yes, Kazuya's down back 1-2 is fantastic, but it's not Devil Jin's Heat Smash. Okay? So, there's that. On top of that, Devil Jin has this shit too. It's basically another fucking Heat Smash. I still got enough bar to do the Heat Smash after I connected 2 of them. And I waited for the freaking bar to go. So if I connect to the Heat Engager and then I do this right away, and then I try like something else, I don't know, try this right away again, and it sets me up that I'm just far enough away to where my opponent can't respond with shit, but I can spam Heat Smash from this distance. After that move connects, I can just, he can wake up and I can Heat Smash right into him. It's ridiculous, man. You're gonna tell me that this shit is not ridiculous? I think TheMainMan's even pointed out this strategy multiple times in his own chat in the past. So, why are you downplaying that, first of all? I mean, this is... No one's gonna sidestep Devil Jin when he's in heat, okay? First of all, you got this shit. You're not gonna, no one's gonna step you when you're doing laser scrapers, jabs, standing fours, more laser scrapers, and then you go into this shit, and now you set up for the Heat Smash. So, I mean, okay, Kazuya, Devil Jin's Heat Smash is way stronger than anything Kazuya has in Heat, and on top of that, Devil Jin's got this shit, which is ridiculous. And if, honestly, full a CD 1+2 is not that bad, man. If you crouch dash into it, it really isn't. It's not that terrible of a mid. It's a mid homing launcher. That's safe on block. In fact, it's +2 on block, I think, because of the fucking laser. So I know he's downplaying the CD1+2, but just because he's downplaying this fucking move doesn't mean it's not good. Like, what the hell, man? It's a fucking solid-ass move. It tailspins right away. So I understand that can be a pain in the dick for some people. The combo you get from it is not the greatest. Something like that, you know, like that does decent damage. You run up electric into jab into down forward 3-2-4, decent damage there. Not a bad move at all. And you can do this multiple times in heat. It only takes up one heat bar. One of those rectangles, that's about as much as it takes up. Maybe a little bit more than that. That's it. So it doesn't take that much heat bar. So he's got this, and then he's got this shit. Decent shit, right? And then you can mix that up with this trash. Fucking Hell Sweep is launch. So, I mean, like, Devil Jin's got a launching Hell Sweep. The fuck, bro? I mean, if Kazuya doesn't have a launching Hell Sweep, his does 31 damage and then sets up amazing Oki, right? But Devil Jin's, on the other hand, he gets this in heat too, obviously. This is some shit you can mix this shit up with while in heat. I recorded this earlier just to show you how good the Hell Sweep is in tandem with forward, forward, 4. And this isn't even to do with his heat shit, but it's important to note. So, if Devil Jin does this shit, he's gonna set me up for some Oki here. I'm gonna back roll, and I'm gonna try pressing a jab. That's all I did there. So now Devil Jin's gonna do it again. I'm gonna back roll into jab. Spamming jab, and he fucking KOs me with the forward, forward, 4, right? The only thing I could do at this point, if I don't want to get killed by, you know, back 4 for Devil Jin, is do an armor move. So let's try this again. I'm gonna back roll. He's gonna Oki me, and I'm gonna armor through his shit. So I can do any kind of move that has armor, then I'm good to go. But it's like you need to know that setup first of all. I mean, like the fact that Devil Jin gets that. He either gets that or Demon Steel Pedal, because fucking Devil Jin, of course he has Demon Steel Pedal, because that was he's the character that invented the move. It came with him as a package in Tekken 5, right? I think it was DR. Kazuya and Devil Jin both have fantastic Oki. Devil Jin's Hell Sweep launches to where he can fucking do ridiculous damage with the Hell Sweep. So if he wanted to, you know, you back roll and then he gets that shit and now you got a combo with Devil Jin. Or if you really wanted to, you could just finish the fucking combo and get, I think it's 45 damage altogether if you do the proper one. But yeah, you get this ridiculous shit with Devil Jin's freaking Hell Sweep. I don't know why they thought, like... Okay, that resets the neutral now. So you're both at ridiculous spots, and guess where Devil Jin is in that scenario here? Guess this is something people aren't, like, you're not fucking thinking this shit when you're playing the character. It's not about the individual moves and what those moves do. It's about how they work in tandem with the character as a package, right? So it's not just, yeah, if Kazuya had, or Devil Jin had Kazuya's Hell Sweep, he might not be as strong as he is with his Hell Sweep, and I'll show you why that is. So Devil Jin's gonna set the shit up, he's back in the neutral, he's in heat right now, the neutral's reset, and he's in fucking Psycho Crusher mode again. You're in the perfect spot to set that move up, or to set this one up. You only need to hit with the second kick for that to connect, by the way. Just spam this shit, and then run up and fucking do this shit, right after you've just done a Hell Sweep. Like, that's your fucking mix-up right now. Into this shit. Like, and they can sidestep this, but they can't sidestep this. So no one's going to sidestep you because they're gonna eat that fucking damage, and there's gonna be nothing they can do. So that's the other thing. When Devil Jin is in heat, people don't sidestep him. You have complete control of the neutral without even worrying about doing anything. You don't have to do this move. The fact that this move exists is enough for Devil Jin to control the neutral in any scenario the moment he enters heat. And this is all the way up to pro level play. Again, I refer back to Devil Jin versus Kazuya matches at pro level play, where you got Kudance using Devil Jin and you got Keisuke versus using a Kazuya. And he's moving around freely. Kudance moving around freely the whole time. Kazuya doesn't give a fuck that Kazuya's in heat. When Devil Jin goes into heat, Keisuke knows to hold the fucking back button and just wait until Devil Jin does something and then respond appropriately. He's not moving around. He's not sidestepping. He's not doing shit. Go watch the videos for yourself. He's being very cautious. He steps and blocks almost like and he barely steps at all because he knows if he takes a big step, he's gonna fucking pull the trigger on that Cycle Crusher. He's gonna die. So, that's some shit you have to constantly worry about. So Devil just controls the neutral just by existing in heat. Kazuya does not. He doesn't. So the fuck? Like, I don't understand how you could possibly think that Kazuya is better in heat than Devil Jin just because Kazuya has down back 1-2. Yes. Is that a great fucking move? Absolutely. Down back 1-2 is the shit, man. I fucking love that move. It's so ridiculous. This fucking move is ridiculous. You get this shit at the wall, and then you fucking, you get your hell sweep and you wall splat them and all this shit. Oh, I love Kazuya. He's fucking awesome. You got so much cool shit with Kazuya. But it doesn't mean that it's cooler, or it's better than the shit that Devil Jin has. He just has cool shit. Fantastic move with Kazuya, will not deny that. That is his key tool in heat. But guess what? When Devil Jin's in heat, he gets some pretty cool shit that's not involved with his heat move list at all. Like, I'm not talking about his heat extensions, like this type of shit. I'm talking about the shit that he already has that becomes better, like what we just discussed with down back 1-2 with Kazuya. Devil Jin gets this shit. Whatever the fuck. Just go into anything. This becomes a 14-frame launcher. Like, he gets a 14-frame launcher in heat. Nobody ever talks about this shit. What the fuck? I know it's a high, but it's 14 frames, and it's got really fucking good range, actually. As soon as Kazuya's not in the proper stance here, but yeah, range 2.5. He's gonna get hit by this. Like, this has pretty fucking awesome range. 2.75 I was there just a second ago. 2.75. Right about there. 2.73 and it hits. Like, this is a great move, and it's a 14-frame launcher. If they stick their limbs out for 1 second, you're gonna nail them with this shit. This is a great move. So, I don't know. I think he's got also, obviously, Demon Paw. We already talked about this phenomenal fucking move. Like, that's all guaranteed. They could tech roll at the wall, but I think the last hit, if you just time it right, is guaranteed there's big fucking damage, So Demon Paw, fantastic move. The Demon Paw has a little bit less range than the Devil Fist, but only by like 0.3, 0.25, something like that. Very, very small amount of range, but Devil Fist is definitely better. Although Devil Fist is pretty linear, and Demon Paw tracks pretty damn good to Devil Jin's right side. You have to sidestep Demon Paw to the right, I believe. Okay, we're gonna get Devil Jin to do a Demon Paw and demonstrate which side we step it from. So left works. Right is a lot easier though. Right requires barely any step and it tracks a little bit to the left. Yeah, so if you're at not tip range, but somewhat close range, it's gonna clip you if you step right or if you step left, or it can clip you. But stepping right, you evade it almost entirely, and you don't even have to do that much of a step. Step block, you can even get hit by the fucking jab and it'll still dodge. Look at that shit. But it doesn't work if you get hit by the jab and try to step it left. So, there you go. Demon Paw tracks slightly to Devil Jin's right, so you have to step that move to your right. Devil Fist, not quite the same thing. You can step this move either direction, quite easily. So, yes, it has slightly better range than Demon Paw, but it's more linear. So, I mean, pick your poison. All in all, I don't think Kazuya and Devil Jin are all that different in heat. I do think for a fact that Devil Jin's heat is better than Kazuya's. Kazuya has the down back 1-2 shit and the Devil Fist. But, I mean, fuck. Devil Jin gets a 14 frame launcher. He gets ridiculous moves that set up the fucking Heat Smash, which is his most deadly move. With up 4, 3+4, 1+2 for the mid, or you mix that up with the Hell Sweep. From point blank range, you can do either one, and both of them are equally terrifying. So, and they both set up the Heat Smash. So the fuck, dude, like it's pretty ridiculous what Devil Jin can do, and how well all of his shit works together for the Heat Smash to work. And that's the end goal: is you want to do his Heat Smash. You don't give a fuck about Kazuya's Heat Smash. Almost no one wants to reach a certain level. I'd say Fujin players and up stop using Kazuya's Heat Smash entirely because it's useless. They go for down back 1-2 or Demon Paw at the wall, something like that. Or to launch they go for a Demon Paw, and then of course you're gonna go for the Hell Sweep shit because this shit is also really good with Kazuya. But even still, it's 45 damage because it just got nerfed. And we'll talk about that in a little bit here.
The Hell Sweep is straight up crazy. The Oki laser is super strong. Heaven's Gate is super good for Oki, especially at the wall for your wall combo. It's really strong.
If we're talking about damage with Kazuya, with his Hell Sweep at 45 damage and into his Oki position, which isn't even all that crazy, let's look at what Devil Jin can do with his Hell Sweep then. If you're going to talk about Kazuya's, we got to address Devil Jin's. So, here we go. So you got that shit. Pretty easy to do. Not a whole lot to it. Very, very simple combo, and you're still in heat after that. Now, what else can he do with his Hell Sweep? Alright, so he gets 57 damage with his Hell Sweep. If you just do a standard combo, he can still floor break with that. He can still get rage and do his rage art with it to get even more damage. You can do a whole bunch of crazy shit with Devil Jin, but I mean, 53 damage to stay in heat, 57 damage to end heat with no wall, nothing like that. I mean, you're talking about you talk about Kazuya's buffed Hell Sweep when he's in heat like it's some fucking crazy deal that he gets an extra 14 damage now with his Hell Sweep. When Devil Jin gets 57 damage potentially, 53 damage for sure if he fucking does the standard bullshit. Just if he wants to just fucking do this kind of trash all day. Even just doing that. I mean, he can just spam this shit all fucking day. This is his now once he's in heat, he gets to just have access to this easy mode bullshit. He gets two of them, and then he goes into fucking Heat Smash range again. You saw the damage that he was getting with those Hell Sweeps, right? I mean, in heat, he gets the same shit that Kazuya gets, pretty much. 44 damage. Kazuya gets 45. Like, I don't see what the fucking deal is. Yes, the Oki is better for Kazuya than it is for Devil Jin in that scenario, but again, that's not the point with with Devil Jin is to get Oki where you can run up in their face and start getting Oki again. No. Devil Jin now gets Oki from range fucking 420. He gets range from 420. You literally have the entire screen's worth of Oki with Devil Jin because you're in heat, and that's the power of his heat smash. Like, it all comes back to that. You have to focus on that shit. And the fact that he has a hell sweep that's comparable to Kazuya's that puts Devil Jin in the most favorable position that he could be in because he's controlling the neutral at the utmost extent that he possibly could due to the fact that he's controlling it at range 4. I mean, that is so ridiculously stupid. No character could do that. Not even fucking... I mean, June can do it a little bit, but Devil Jin's the only one that can really do that from that range. 420? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Makes me want to go outside and smoke a blunt. Just thinking about how depressing that is that Devil Jin controls that much fucking range. The Hell Sweep, just take that shit off the fucking table. The Hell Sweep is not even... There's nothing to even compare to there anymore. Devil Jin's Hell Sweep is just as good as Kazuya's in heat. There's no argument to be made. Devil Jin gets one less damage and puts himself in a much better position than Kazuya does at the end of his Hell Sweep. Yes, he gets his stupid ass little laser setup, but all you have to do is roll out of the way for that. I mean, there's no mix-up at all. Just roll out of the way and stay on the ground. You'll dodge the Demon Paw and the laser, both things that most Kazuya players will do from that range after the fucking Hell Sweep setup. But with Devil Jin, he can just go for another fucking Hell Sweep because the laser launches you on the ground. He can relaunch you on the fucking ground against the wall if he wanted to. From face up, feet towards position. You're arguing about two different characters and comparing the things that they have and saying that Kazuya's Hell Sweep is better. Well, no, yeah, technically on paper it looks better, but when you add everything together, you realize that Kazuya's Hell Sweep doesn't work as well in tandem with his other tools as Devil Jin's does in tandem with his other tools, namely his Heat Smash, the most broken Heat Smash in the fucking game.
And then again, I can't overstate how much better this Hell Sweep is than Devil Jin's. It cannot be overstated. The sheer damage output of it, the Oki it gives, the fact that it wall splats in this game way more than it did in Tekken 7. It's so much easier to get this wall splat into bound, into combo for 65 damage. Devil Jin can't do that.
Dude, I just talked about how he totally can. He can literally launch you, relaunch you, and wall splat you at the fucking wall from his Hell Sweep if you just lay there on the ground. So talk about Oki. If you don't tech roll the laser after he Hell Sweeps, like if he hits you with the kick and you don't tech roll that kick, the sweep itself, he can relaunch you onto the wall. I mean, the fact that he can do that at all is ridiculous.
When you're in the neutral, no wall, this Hell Sweep is still better than Devil Jin's. Because of the Oki.
So here's some definitive evidence that the main man's opinion has some push and pull in Bandai Namco. They're obviously paying attention to his videos because he made the video and they fucking and he was addressing things about Kazuya. He made several videos addressing things about Kazuya. One, namely, being the Hell Sweep and how strong it is now. And there you go, the fucking thing got nerfed. So obviously, they changed the damage scaling on this. So now the combo that you need to normally do perfect execution for is no longer relevant. You can just mash out the regular Hell Sweep and you get more or less the same damage. You don't have to time it perfectly anymore, which is a bit of a bummer because some players, myself included, like to have a little bit extra execution when we're doing our combos with Kazuya, just because it's satisfying, because we're fucking sweat lords and Kazuya players. So, you know, it's nice to be able to do a Hell Sweep combo that is a little more damage, but also it feels like you earned the damage because it's so difficult to do it. Now it doesn't matter if you know how to fucking do the perfect timing Hell Sweep ender, because the damage is going to be the same due to that fix. So Main Man's opinion does have some sway at Bandai Namco. So him making videos like this one where he's addressing Devil Jin and Kazuya and saying that Kazuya is so much stronger than Devil Jin is not a healthy thing if we want Kazuya to be an actually strong character in this game. Kazuya is not very strong in Tekken 8, and I think we need to keep Bandai Namco from making him any weaker than he already is, because he's fucking pretty much useless in a lot of ways and extremely strong in other ways, and I feel like Kazuya still remains in the bottom 10 category of characters in the game, and Devil Jin still remains at the top of the list for me. That fucking Heat Smash and the shit that he has that works in tandem with it is too fucking good. Considering Heat is 50+% of every single round, the fact that he has a Heat Smash that does that, that just means that he's controlling 50% of every round, every single round you play. Kazuya can't say that. You can't say that he has neutral control for 50% of every round. He just doesn't.
But then also down back 4 is one of the best low pokes in the game. I don't think Devil Jin is anything close. Down back 2 is nowhere near as good in my opinion. And that one on hit sets up down back 1 2 yet again into absurd frames.
Kazuya's down back 4 is fantastic, but to say that this isn't as good. Attack startup frames, just about as much, 21 frames. This is pretty much unseeable. No one's ever going to react to this unless you're spamming the shit out of it. You know? So you have this. You also have Broken Plate, down 3. But this is a fantastic tool. Okay, down back 2. It also gives you guaranteed follow-ups on counter hits. So if I wanted to, I could just get a fucking Demon Steel pedal for my Oki. Saying that down back 2 isn't as good as down back 4 with Kazuya is... I can see where you're coming from, but this gives guaranteed follow-up on counter hit. Down back 4 doesn't. It just gives heavy plus frames, plus 17. Right? So guaranteed mix-up. This gives guaranteed follow-up. It high crushes. It's 1 frame slower than down back 4. But the fact that it high crushes almost immediately as soon as you engage in the animation, this fucking move high crushes. Like, man, this shit is crazy. It's a really good move that should be abused. And saying that Kazuya's down back 4 is so much better than this. I mean, this shit even tracks. The fact that down back 2 tracks and down back 4 with Kazuya doesn't track as much makes this move better. The fact that there's high crushes makes this move better. The fact that they both give pretty decent plus frames. Yes, Devil Jin's in crouching and your opponent is still in standing status. That's a bit of a problem. But that means that this is guaranteed. So if they press anything, then you get the follow-up. Or you could just do a while standing 4 into more plus frames if they press anything. Down back 4, very good for working in tandem with Kazuya for his utility. Down back 4, forward 4. You know, I think there's an argument to be made for down back 2 being as good, if not, you know, slightly better than down back 4 by Kazuya, because Kazuya's doesn't crush anything and it comes out at 20 frames. Coming out at 21 frames is irrelevant because you're using this for multiple different utilities. You can use this as a get off me button, fuck right off with your jab checks, and let me get a counter hit follow up real quick. Because this is high crushing all your shit. You can't do that with down back 4 with Kazuya. You have to just sit there and take the punishment. Sit there and take the fucking pressure, right? So this move's great for getting people off of you in that sense. It also can be used to build momentum. Because yes, it's plus 3, but then your follow-ups, you can still get some pretty decent follow-ups after this. While standing 1-1, for example. Down back 2 has its utility, and it's not really used in the same way that down back 4 is with Kazuya, because this move is mostly used as a get off me, high crush, deal some follow-up damage, and then continue with the Oki. Then Kazuya's down back 4 is a pressure tool used to build momentum. They have different uses, so it's hard to compare the two, but if I had to pick a favorite of the two, I mean, it really is situational, but this move has saved my ass at Devil Jin more times than I can count, and it's a lot more spammable. So the fact that I can just throw this shit out willy-nilly every time I'm in a match, and down back 4, because I'm often intercepted by jabs, I can't throw it out nearly as much. I don't know. I feel like this move might be a little better. The fact that it's spammable makes it better in my opinion.
And then we could talk about how Kazuya's Oki is twice as strong as Devil Jin's. Legit twice as strong.
You talk about Devil Jin's Oki being twice as shitty as Kazuya's, or Kazuya's being twice as good. I mean, no disrespect, but how? What the fuck are you talking about? How is that possible? Let's just go through a couple of options just to see what he's got after he does a Hell Sweep, for example. He does the Hell Sweep combo, and then he puts you in a position where he can get some Oki after that. Let's see how shitty it actually is. Alright, so let's just... I have three options for him to do right now. He's going to just do the combo. I'm going to hold back, and look at that. I'm just getting up from a Hell Sweep, and I'm holding back. Alright, so he's going to do another Hell Sweep. I'm going to try to... Oh, okay. If I hold back and try to press a button at any point... Oh, fuck, he gets me with another Hell Sweep there. If I try to do anything, like get up... There's the Oki I was talking about with Hell Sweep a second ago. You can literally shoot them on the fucking ground with the laser from whatever distance you want because it connects all the way on the ground. You can hit fucking chow you in crouching AOP stance with that fucking laser. You just saw how I was tech rolling or I was attempting to get up in an appropriate way from far distance away, and I still got nailed by the laser. So, shitty Oki? I don't understand how you can say that. I mean, let's just see what he's got over here. I'm gonna just get up. At this point, if I just lay on the ground, I risk getting fucked up by another Hell Sweep. If that's what he chooses to go for, then laying on the ground is the correct response. But if he chooses to go for something else, pretty much anything else, the shit that you should go for in this scenario, which is the Demon Steel Pedal. I mean, the argument is Devil Jin's Oki is half as good as Kazuya's. How is that the case if Devil Jin has the same Oki tool that Kazuya does, and then some? I don't get it. I mean, Kazuya has Demon Steel Pedal and down back 4. What Main Man was just talking about a second ago there, with his down back 4. So if you're able to do stuff like this, instant while standing 2 from a wave dash. That was a shit combo, but you know, essentially you get while standing 2, and then you can do some crazy damage with this shit. If you're good with the buffer system and everything, you get 73 fucking damage with a decent Devil Jin combo from while standing 2, which you should all... Any Devil Jin player that can't do this somewhat consistently, it's definitely hard. Like, don't get me wrong. This is probably the hardest thing you're going to be fucking learning how to do with Devil Jin, is wave dash and a while standing 2, consistently. Very easy to fuck up at any level. The fact that you can do that with Devil Jin, which every Devil Jin player should learn how to do, it makes his Oki just as good, if not better, than Kazuya's. So, what are the arguments here? In conclusion, we got Devil Jin's Heat is not as good as Kazuya's except for his Heat Smash. I think that is a self-defeater argument because the Heat is built around his Heat Smash. All of the tools that Devil Jin has work in tandem in a perfect harmony to set himself up for the Heat Smash at ideal range. There's nothing your opponent could do, but Devil Jin can just pull the fucking trigger at any point and Heat Smash away. And that's ridiculous neutral control. And the other thing that Main Man said Devil Jin excels better at is Oki. Well, we already addressed that. The Oki situation for Devil Jin is very comparable to Kazuya. Consistency is the key to winning tournaments, and since Devil Jin has tools that Kazuya doesn't, namely this shit, a standing fucking 15-frame launcher, I mean, dude. Like, easy mode bullshit, there's nothing to that fucking combo. You know, with Heat, 79 fucking damage with Heat, easy ass bullshit. That's a 15-frame standing launcher. I mean, Kazuya doesn't have that. He has nothing like that. And at 14 frames, he's got this shit, which becomes a launcher in Heat, which is just completely ignored. Everybody just fucking forgets that he has a launcher and heat. So that's 14 fucking frames. I mean, that's ridiculously good. Nobody ever talks about that. Yes, it's a high, but it can punish minus 14 frames. There's so many moves in the game that are minus 14 on block. You have no idea. You have to lab that shit to find out, but there's so many fucking moves that are minus 14 on block. So having a 14 frame launcher in heat is crazy fucking good. Kazuya doesn't have that. Is nothing like that. Devil Jin is going to do better in tournaments. He's more consistent, mostly because he has much easier punishment. He has a standing 15 frame launcher. Kazuya doesn't. That's huge. He has Oki that is very comparable. In my opinion, it's better. He has a Hell Sweep that's just as good as Kazuya's, if not better. Gives more damage. And it also sets up Oki for the Heat Smash in Heat. In Heat, you get an easy fucking 53 damage combo. You can do that over and over and over again. Forward, forward, 4 is comparable to forward, forward, 3 with Kazuya. The final thing I have to say is Devil Jin is a lot less susceptible to sidestep and sidewalk left. Kazuya is extremely susceptible to sidestep and sidewalk left. Sidewalk left kills Kazuya's entire fucking move list. And Devil Jin, you have to sidestep right and sidewalk right several of Devil Jin's moves. He continues with the video and talks about Devil Jin and the things that Devil Jin does better than Kazuya, but he's really listing a lot of the things that I've already listed here, and he's downplaying a couple of the things that he's talking about with Devil Jin in the video. And I understand where you're coming from, MainMan. I really do. Because on paper, again, you're looking at it from face value. At face value, Kazuya has some really good shit. Down back 1-2, gets a significant buff when he's in heat, which makes that move fantastic. And, you know, he has other good shit like that in heat with forward, forward 2. If you don't do the Demon Paw heat dash with it, then you get the extension, which does double damage for Demon Paw, which is fantastic. And I love the heat moves that Kazuya does have and the extensions that he's got. That Hell Sweep extension that he has is fantastic, but Devil Jin has pretty much the same fucking Hell Sweep, like I mentioned earlier. Their Okis are very comparable. Devil Jin also has access to the Demon Steel Pedal. It's just as good as Kazuya's. I think that the fact that they have similar Oki tools with Demon Steel Pedal, you know, Hell Sweep, Devil Jin has down back 2, Kazuya has down back 4 for that. They both have Demon Paws. I mean, Devil Jin's Hell Sweep can fucking hit them on the ground. The laser can relaunch and give some crazy shit at the wall if they're just face down feet towards, or face up feet away from you. Like, that's crazy to me. And then for wake ups, he's got forward, forward, 4, which is an extremely underrated mid. That Kazuya, he has a better version of it with forward, forward 3 in a sense. But at the same time, I don't think he does, because you can let this rip from fucking, you know, like forever ago. Like all this, look at the range on this shit. Look at this shit, man. This move is insanely good. Why aren't people using this? I don't know why people aren't using this move, but it's fucking good. If people are using forward, forward 3 with Kazuya, why are you not using forward, forward 4 with Devil Jin? I mean, this shit fucking low crushes, for Christ's sake. What are people doing? I don't know why I haven't been using it, but I'm gonna start spamming the shit out of it now because it's a good fucking move. I used it the other day, pretty much just for fun, and I beat the shit out of everybody. And I didn't think it was gonna be that effective, but it was. It was extremely effective because nobody sees it coming because it's such an underutilized move and it's very slept on. So let's fucking bring it out more. 4-4-4 with Devil Jin. It's a fantastic mid that people seem to forget exists. I want to talk about one more thing, one real quick thing in regards to pokes. So people are saying that Kazuya has better pokes than Devil Jin. I've heard people say this. Devil Jin's jab isn't as good as Kazuya's. I think Kazuya's jab is, well, they're both shitty jabs. Saying that one little turd is less smelly than another turd that's almost as little is whatever. They're both fucking shit. Like, your jab is your most important tool, and Devil Jin's is very trash. I'm not denying that. His jab is his most important tool, and it's trash. Kazuya's, same thing. His jab is his most important tool, very trash. So regardless, they both have shit jabs. They both need a jab buff in terms of range. A little bit of range would be great. Like 0.1 range would be so nice to have. Like, look at this shit. Devil Jin needs to be at range 1.9. 1.9. Let's try range 2 again. The range 2 this hits. Range 2.1. 2.1 it whiffs. So he cannot use his jab at range 2.08 or further back. You're pretty much fucked. So Devil Jin's jab is trash. Kazuya's jab is no better, really. But Devil Jin has this. Kazuya doesn't have anything like this. Okay? I know that TheMainMan was saying his down forward 1 sucks. But at least he has one, and it's still +5 on the hit. Yeah, Kazuya doesn't have this shit. Kazuya's down forward 1 is 15 frames. The closest thing he has to a down forward 1 is his back 2, and it's -8 on block. It's trash, and it's 14 frames to impact. This is 13 frames to impact and only -6 on block. Plus it has an extension. Yes, it's a hot, so you can duck under this bullshit. It is terrible. It is such a it's a total nerf compared to his older self with down forward 1-2 before, the hit confirmable one that was guaranteed on counter hit. I mean, that was awesome shit. Down forward 1 had some good range, and then the down forward 2 came down like a hammer and did some decent damage. This is trash. This is not an upgrade whatsoever. It's terrible. It looks cooler, and that's really the only thing that's nice about it. This is shit. But his down forward 1 in itself is still better than anything Kazuya has. The closest thing Kazuya has is to a 13 frame poke is this, and Devil Jin also has this. The tsunami kicks. This is like such a valuable tool for both Kazuya and Devil Jin to have, but Devil Jin has access to it just as much as Kazuya does, and they're the exact same. -4 on the hit. Natural combo, you can delay the second hit so that it fucks a lot of players up, which it really does. You can delay it for quite some time. And then his down forward 1. You know, like, what the fuck? He's got shittier pokes than a lot of characters do. But his pokes are still better than Kazuya's, not to mention the broken plate. You get fake frame advantage with this shit. Because every time someone gets hit, you're like, I don't want to press buttons. Even though you're a -1. So, he's got a bad jab, but he's got a decent down forward 1 compared to Kazuya's shit. Kazuya has nothing like that. So to say that Devil Jin's pokes are, you know, better or are shittier than Kazuya's, he's also got this, you know, 17 frame homing move. Fantastic. It even wall splats, and it's a homing move. Like, this fucking move's amazing out the wall. Amazing at the wall. On top of that, he has this shit. Laser Scraper is insane. You can delay the last hit. I don't recommend even doing the last hit, but it has different follow-ups. Kazuya doesn't have a Laser Scraper. His tracking is terrible. Some things that TheMainMan says go noticed by Bandai Namco, and I wanted to address this so that, you know, he can maybe clear up some things that he said if he starts to rethink things that he said in his video. If you watch this video, TheMainMan, make a follow-up with your Kazuya video and say, hey, you know, here's what I agree with, here's what I don't, and also, you know, if it turns out you changed your mind, great. If it turns out I changed my mind, great. I just want to have a healthy dialogue and a nice discussion of the community. That's all this video is for. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe to TheMainMan, subscribe to me, like this video, share it around. I would really like to get a discussion going because this shit's the tits. I love doing stuff like this. I hope this video helped people see both characters, Kazuya and Devil Jin, my two favorite Tekken characters, in a bit of a different light in this sense now. Devil Jin is a lot stronger than Kazuya, and after everything I just demonstrated here, I think I made my case. Keep rocking out, keep gaming.